One man, one mission, to rid the world of chronic anxiety once and for all. The Anxiety Guy, Dennis Simsek, shares his personal transformation from living a life filled with overwhelming worry to becoming a full-fledged positivity machine, a leading authority in generalized anxiety. Dennis gets to the truth of your mental health challenges and sets you on a path to transforming each and every area of your life. Here he is, the one and only, the Anxiety Guy.
Warriors, survivors, inspirers, welcome to the Anxiety Guy podcast. This is episode number 246, and I'm your host, Dennis Simsek. Today, we're going to be discussing how to deal with overthinking anxiety. But before we go there, I want you to know that this podcast episode is brought to you by my latest book, F Coping, Start Healing, which you can find on Amazon now. The digital copy, the paperback, is there. And by the end of July, the audiobook will be available as well. So head on over to Amazon and begin your journey through F Coping, Start Healing. And if you get a chance, please leave a review of the book. It would mean so much to me. And so, warrior, we find ourselves face to face with this self-sabotaging habit called overthinking. I know I've been there. And I've been on the other side of overthinking where I'm not thinking much at all. And let me tell you something. The beginning stages of this transition away from overthinking and thinking more clearly is quite challenging, to say the least. But what we need to understand is, why do we do it? Why do we do it? We do it to be certain of the answer. We always feel like we need to make sure that the answer is the right answer. So, in the anxiety world, this eats up a tremendous amount of energy and time. You'll notice with anxiety sufferers, time goes by very quickly, and so does their energy reserves. They are exhausted, depleted, and many times they've just woken up. Because it's a lot of work to overthink. It's a lot of work to constantly feel like we need to consciously come up with every single answer. We also do it to make sure that we don't make a mistake in the eyes of society. Many people will feel like, no, Dennis, I couldn't care less about what society thinks. But we've been brought up to feel like we must all be the same. And so what starts off as a unique human being coming to this world colorful, curious, loving, turns into fear, overthinking, and looking to be very, very good at things that truly don't matter in the big picture. We also overthink to make sure that we do what is aligned with our beliefs. If it fits with our belief systems, then we'll do it. If it doesn't, we'll find a way to think ourselves out of it. This goes hand in hand with anxiety sufferers unconsciously feeling like they need to punish or be punished every single day. So the moment inner peace shows up, they don't know what to do with it. That's why you'll notice so many people sabotaging their healing journey, because healing isn't comfortable for them. Well, let me tell you something. It's only uncomfortable because it's inconsistent. The more consistent you are in that place of being peaceful, the more comfortable you're going to be there. So just because something feels foreign to you doesn't mean you have to believe it. Fourth reason why we do it is because we don't trust our intuitiveness. We feel like our intellect must run every single day. Think, 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 think. The more we think, the less we're in the present. The more we think, the more it feels like we're preventing a catastrophic future. But the truth is that there is nothing in the future that's catastrophic. It's all made up lies in your head that you feel in your body that you believe is true. You do something enough, you will believe it. And finally, we do it because it's a distraction from facing the actual cause or fear head on. Overthinking is a distraction? Absolutely it can be. It can be as distracting as overworking. Many people out there feel like they need to overwork, do the next thing on their to-do lists, in the hope that they don't go back to feeling that they're running from. So overthinking can be a distraction from facing the very thing we need to face. Intuitively, we know, each one of us knows what we need to face. But if we avoid it enough and dance around the great big pink elephant in the living room, then we will condition ourselves to focus on something different and not the pink elephant. When in fact, it's dealing with the pink elephant that will bring us long-term healing. So the question is, what do we do about it? What do we do about this overthinking habit? Well, the first thing we must do is we must begin consciously seeing through the habit. We must recognize how much time and energy it wastes, and how the answers that we seek just get farther away anyway through overthinking. You can't break a habit until you see through that habit. You can't break a habit until you provide yourself with other options in terms of what to do in that moment. So provide yourself with those options and begin consciously seeing through this overthinking habit. Recognize how much of your life it's taking up consciously. Don't just hope that you'll see this answer in time, but bring it to your conscious awareness, because the more pain you associate to something, the faster you're going to give it up. The more pleasure you associate to something, the faster you are going to begin doing that thing. The second thing we must do is we must make faster decisions and act on them. This will give us a letting go feeling mentally, emotionally, and behaviorally, which will only save us time and energy in the long run. Anxiety sufferers have a hard time making fast decisions because they don't trust themselves. They don't trust themselves because their self-worth, their level of self-worth is so low. But you are worthy and you have all the answers within you. If you ever needed permission to act quicker on a decision, that permission is here right now. So stop overthinking and trust the intuitive answer that shows up, act on it, and do not allow yourself to get caught up in the result of what you're doing. The third thing we must do to overcome overthinking is we must look for the opportunities to practice this new immediate response. I'll give you an example. Someone goes to buy some ice cream. There's all the flavors in front of me. There's 1,000 different flavors of ice cream. Okay, should I have this? Should I have mint? Vanilla? Vanilla's too boring. Bubblegum? That's fun, but it's not good for me. Yada, yada, yada. Ooh, chocolate's nice. Coffee? Oh no, I can't drink coffee. And so we deny ourselves, deny, when in fact, the first answer is the true answer. So we must look for the opportunities to practice this new immediate response that we're going to begin acting on. Fourth thing we need to do is we must allow the outcome to take care of itself. For example, you're in a social situation, conversing with someone, and you're using up a tremendous amount of energy trying to say all the right things. Have you been there? I've been there. Rather, we say what's in our hearts and leave the judgment to the other person since it's out of our control anyway. Focus on the opposing things to do in that moment rather than the outcome and move closer to your authentic self. Finally, what we need to do, and this is going to go against what a lot of people do throughout the day, more self-hugs. You heard me, more self-hugs. There's a lot of people in the world that have created a negative connection unconsciously to love and self-love. The more love we feel for ourselves, the more our self-worth increases. The more our self-worth increases, the less we will look to please others and the world, and the more value we will see in being open and genuine. More self-hugs. Warrior, we now understand why we do it, and we now know what we need to do about it. What you want to do is listen to this podcast a few times to get super clear on the right answer, the intuitive answer. And we're going to begin slowly trusting that initial answer and not feel the need anymore to overthink everything. Enjoy the journey. You deserve to enjoy the journey, and you deserve to heal your anxiety. Remember, you are more than anxiety. If you're enjoying this podcast, please give it a positive rate and review. And if you have any other questions on any of my programs, or just want to get caught up in the latest blog posts, head on over to theanxietyguy.com. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Thanks for being an important part of the Anxiety Guy podcast community. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a positive rate and review. If you're searching for further support on your road to recovery from anxiety, head over to anxietyexit.com and take part in the powerful End the Anxiety program based around the CBT model. If you're searching for a more one-on-one approach, you can sign up now for personal coaching sessions with Dennis via Skype. Remember, you are more than anxiety. See you in the next episode.